Welcome back. Part of our continuing series where we talk to academics, activists, anyone on the left, anyone on the right, just trying to get their perspective. With us today, we're doing one question with E.J. Fagan. Again, a lot of these people we try to reach out to who are experts in the field of political polarization, but a lot of them are busy because political polarization is quite bad right now. And so they're in demand. So we appreciate whatever time we can get with any of the professors to whatever degree. We were able to get one key question answered by E.J. Fagan, and we'll share that with you now. So today's show is about E.J. Fagan. He's an assistant professor of political science at the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences at the University of Chicago in Illinois. Assistant professor of political science, University of Illinois at Chicago. He's in the Department of Political Science. He studies political parties, Congress, think tanks, agenda setting, lobbying, and economic policy. In particular, I'm interested in how legislatures process information to solve problems and how party elites influence policy. I earned my PhD from the University of Texas at Austin. He's also a faculty associate with the Policy Agendas Project. Before academia, he worked 5 years in Washington, D.C. He was the Deputy Communications Director for the Global Financial Integrity Project, a research and advocacy organization based in Washington, D.C. When not working, he spends his time cooking and hiking and watching baseball. You can also find him at ejfagan.com. Some of his work that he's published on is using the Comparative Agenda Project to measure the policy content of interest group activities, policy change in Brazil, the power of the party, conflict expansion, and the agenda diversity of interest groups, issue ownership and the priorities of U.S. party elites, 2004 to 2016, marching orders, U.S. party platforms and legislative agenda setting, 1948 to 2014, and representative systems and policy punctuation. So a lot of evidence work in studying policy formation from Congress and in D.C., and he also worked in D.C. So knows how D.C. works, studies political policy, writes about it, and has written extensively on how policies are formed in D.C. I found him from the PIPE Collaborative at USC, my alma mater, political institutions and political economy research across disciplinary boundaries. It was a symposium held in 2021 on November 23 at the University of Southern California. And he did a speech on elite polarization and partisan think tanks. And there he is. David Bateman at Cornell held the discussion. So let's find out what he said. I only wanted to ask you one question. Do you see any reason to believe political polarization will calm down naturally? And here's his response from Professor E.J. Fagan. Polarization has waxed and waned throughout American political history, but changes to political process always require individual agency by political and societal points, I believe. Politics is often downstream of big societal forces beyond the control of individuals, but I don't think it's ever a good idea to try to explain politics with natural forces. So that's not really an answer. That's just kind of like polarization has been worse. It's not been worse. Polarization is downstream of societal forces beyond the control of individuals. True. But I don't think it's a good idea to explain politics with natural forces. So politics is downstream of natural forces, but we can't use that as an explanation. This really isn't much of an answer. I was looking for, do you see any reason to believe political polarization calmed down naturally? That's a yes or no question based upon stuff. This is, boy, it's been bad in the past. Boy, it's going to be bad in the future. Politics is linked to societal forces, but we should really look at politics as separate from them. Okay. Everyone, normally we get a direct answer. Every once in a while we get a boilerplate. I'm not going to directly answer, and I'll just say something kind of academic answer. It's only happened 2 or 3 times out of the 25 times we get a direct answer, but hey, here you go. So this is what he wanted to share. So there it is. I did just hear really good work, information about this elite polarization partisan think tanks, and that it's a good amount of information. So we'll leave it there. And I want to say thank you for everybody joining us. Usually we're able to provide some deep insight, but we always try to talk to people and see what we can get. So we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll leave it there.